Hello, today I want us to look at computer hardware. Computer hardware output. So, first, we need to ask ourselves what is output? Now, output is what is produced after data has been processed. So, when you enter data into a computer system and the computer through its CPU, it processes that data. What we get later on is the output, the results after processing. That's the output. Now, output is given back to the user through output devices. Okay, so output devices are those devices which allow a computer to give the user the results in human readable form or human understandable form. Examples of output devices, we have monitors, we have printers, speakers, projectors, etc. So monitors are used to give a visual output, that is soft copy output. Printers are used for hard copy output, output that is printed on a piece of paper or on a physical medium. Speakers are used for sound output, and projectors, these are like visual display units which usually take output from a small screen and show it on a much larger screen. First, we're going to look at monitors, which are visual display units. Now, monitors display images using tiny dots called pixels. So on a computer screen or on any screen, there is usually what we call pixels, picture elements. Now, these pixels are what give clarity to the information that is displayed on the screen. So uh, the much closer the pixels, the much clearer the screen is going to be. So the more the pixels, the more clearer a screen is. Resolution is the clarity of an image. That is what resolution is, the clarity of an image, and it depends on the number of pixels. The more the pixels, the more clear an image on the screen is. Now, there are two types of monitors. We have the cathode ray tube. Now, the cathode ray tube or CRT is an old visual display unit or an old monitor. It was used during the years past. Now, the CRT usually uses electronic or electron beams which strike phosphor-coated screens to display images. And usually, it typically displays 80 characters by 25 lines. That's how the CRT monitor displays its characters. 80 characters by 25 lines. Disadvantages: they are very large and heavy, and they consume high power. Very large and very heavy, and they also consume a lot of power. We also have flat panel display, which are the exact opposite of CRT monitors. They are slim, lightweight monitors, and they use technologies like LCD, LED, plasma, etc. So we have liquid crystal display or LCD, light emitting diode or LED, and we also have plasma screens. Those are the technologies these flat panel monitors use to display images or data on the screen. So these flat panel displays are used in calculators, they're used in laptops, they're used in TVs, they're used in smartphones, etc. Advantages is that they require less power, they are portable and lightweight, and can be wall mounted. You can put them on a wall, hang them there. This flat panel display. Printers. Now, printers are used to produce hard copy output on a piece of paper. So when you want to have physical output you can see, you can touch, store it somewhere in hard copy, you use a printer to produce that particular output. Now, we have two main types of printers. We have impact printers and non-impact printers. So impact printers and non-impact printers. In impact printers, the characters are printed by physically striking a ribbon against paper. So there's that physical contact between the medium used for printing the piece of paper and that mechanism that is being used, that is the print head and the ink ribbon. So characteristics of impact printers is that there is low cost per page, it is very noisy, and it's good for bulk printing. If you want to print lots and lots of papers, it is cost effective to use an impact printer. The downside is that it's very, very noisy because of that contact between the piece of paper and the print head mechanism of the ribbon. We have types of impact printers. The first one is a character printer. Now, character printers are used to print one character at a time. So you can print only one character at a time. We have two types of character printers. We have dot matrix printers and daisy wheel printers. Now, a dot matrix printer uses a print head made of pins arranged in the matrix or in a matrix like 7 by 9, 6 by 5, etc. So when it prints, the characters are printed as a pattern of dots, hence the name dot matrix, because the print head is made of pins arranged in a matrix and the characters are printed as a pattern of dots. That's why we get the name dot matrix. Advantages: it's cheap, it supports different languages. The disadvantages is that it's noisy, it's slow, and has a poor print quality. So those are the advantages. It's cheap, you can procure it easily, and it can support different languages. You can print in any language you want, provided the matrix of pins is set in a type of a character in any language. It can print any language you want. But it's so noisy, it has a poor print quality, and it's slow. We also have a daisy wheel printer where the characters are usually embossed on a wheel. They're embossed on a wheel and they look like flower petals where those characters are. It's like flower petals of a daisy flower. Okay. The wheel rotates. As the wheel rotates, it strikes a ribbon in order to print. Okay? That's a daisy wheel printer. Advantages: it has better quality than a dot matrix printer. You can change the fonts if maybe you want to print in a different type of font. Disadvantages: it's slow, very slow, it's noisy, and it's much more expensive than a DMP or a dot matrix printer. Very expensive than a dot matrix printer. Line printers. Now, line printers is another type of, or the other types of the other types of impact printers, these line printers. And these printers usually print an entire line at a time. They print an entire line at a time. Every other time they want to print, not a character, but a full line. There are two types of line printers. We have a drum printer and a chain printer. Drum printer and a chain printer. Now, a drum printer usually has a cylindrical drum that is embossed with characters. Okay? A cylindrical drum embossed with characters, and it's very fast. It can print between 300 and 2,000 lines per given minute. That's a drum printer. Advantages: it has a high speed, it's very fast. Disadvantages: it's expensive and you cannot change the fonts. You cannot print in a different type of font that you want. The font is the same. Chain printers, they use a chain of characters which will rotate in front of a paper, and every other time the character that is needed reaches the area where it's supposed to be printed, then that character is going to be printed. Okay. Advantages: you can change the fonts in the chain printer, and it supports multiple languages. The only disadvantage of the chain printer is that it's noisy. That's the disadvantage of a chain printer. Non-impact printers, these print characters and graphics without striking the paper. There is no contact between the mechanism used for printing and the physical printing material, the A4 paper. So these usually produce output quietly, okay? They don't make any noise, and they can print an entire page at a time. That's why they are known as page printers. They print an entire page. Now, non-impact printers are usually used for high quality, fast and versatile printing. If you want to produce high quality output and you want to print it fast, you can do that with non-impact printers. They are versatile because they can be used to print different types of printouts. That's why they are versatile. If you want to print photos, you want to print letters, you want to print some graphics, you can use these non-impact printers. Characteristics of non-impact printers: they are faster than impact printers, they operate quietly, that is, they are not noisy, they produce high quality output, they support multiple fonts and character sizes, and they're suitable for text, graphics, and images. Suitable for text, graphics, and images. Now we have different types of non-impact printers, and the first one is a laser printer. Now laser printers usually use laser beams and toner to form high resolution text and images. They use laser beams and toner in order to form high resolution text and images. Advantages of these laser printers is that it's very high speed, it has excellent print quality and sharp graphics, and supports multiple fonts and sizes. Disadvantages: it's expensive and it cannot produce multiple copies in a single printer. So if you look at laser printers, they're usually used in large offices or businesses where you need to have printouts that are printed much more faster and of high quality. So laser printers are good in such areas. But they are very, very expensive. Inkjet printers, these usually spray tiny droplets of liquid ink directly onto a piece of paper. So the mechanism that it uses is spraying some tiny droplets of liquid ink directly onto a piece of paper in order to form the character. So it forms characters by spraying those droplets of ink on a piece of paper to form a given character. Advantages: high quality printing, including color, it's quiet and reliable. Okay. Disadvantages is that it's slower than laser printers and it has a higher cost per page. Okay. But you can find these in homes, in small businesses, small offices, in cyber cafes. You can find inkjet printers there easily. Thermal printers, they use heat to print. So they burn dots onto some heat sensitive paper. So commonly, usually they are used for receipts, ATMs, and labels. You'll find these maybe in petrol stations. Okay. The problem is you print, but after some time, the printout disappears. So you have that time when after like sometime 2 or 3 weeks, you find that you don't have any printout on that piece of paper. You wonder where it went because it was printed using a thermal printer, for example. Advantages: it's quiet, low maintenance, and small size. Disadvantages: the prints fade over time and it's slower than laser printer. So the printouts usually fade over time and it's also slower if you compare it to a laser printer. Okay, we're going to look at more of these printers in the next lesson.